What's up, traders? John Howell here, officialjohnhowell.com. A quick market update. So let's get straight into it. Do not place a trade based on what you're seeing in this video today, because trading is risky and it can cause substantial financial loss. There are so many areas you need to become good at to become a good trader. Emotional mastery, chart reading, trading systems, money and trade management. So this video is just educational only to help you become a much better trader. Alright, so last night, I've been saying all week that I'm expecting a pullback out of the markets, and that's exactly what happened. We didn't get a big down day. It's only about a 1% down day. But you can see how we actually started to flush down through here and where we are right now. And we can see that looking on the S&P 500 on the daily chart, we are definitely starting to break out of this pattern here. And I'm expecting a lot more downside to come. I'm expecting probably down, to make a double bottom down here somewhere. Or at least another 1 or 2 down days coming down through here. If we look at the sort of like the 30-minute chart, you can actually see what happened. You can see how the market ran down, it's pulled back up now, it's getting back up towards these areas of resistance, and I'm expecting another downward movement to at least down the bottom here around the 1911 area on the S&P. So that's the S&P 500, big down day, or not a big down day, but a nice move to the downside. I'm expecting more downward movement on the S&P. I've been saying it for quite some time now, but I'm expecting that. Look on the Dow Jones. Dow Jones, as I said yesterday as well too, you can see how that this trend line here bounced, and it just could not close below it. Closed below it, hit rejection, and then now look at it. It's had a bit of a pullback. Once again, looking at the pullback, you can see. Let's go say to a 5-minute chart. We can see how the market just got thumped through there. That was obviously pre-market got hammered, and then it just went sideways and then started picking back up through here. Looking on, say, a 30-minute chart, you can get a bit more of a handle of what's happening here. Market went down, got thumped. Most of the downward move was in the first sort of 30 minutes, and it was very, very quiet. And then the market moved up towards the high side. It is running into a lot of areas of resistance now, so I'm expecting a bit more downside to come moving forward as well too. Looking on the Russell. The Russell had the probably most solid movement to the downside. As you can see, it had ran up, he rejected there, and had a move to the downside, closing where it is right there. A very solid bar. If you look at how it closed at its lows, where the S&P 500 and the Dow Jones did not. You can see how the Dow Jones pulled off its low and closed sort of middle. And so did the Russell. The Russell sort of closed its low. So that's actually a very weak sign. Again, I'm expecting more downward movement. And looking at the Nasdaq, you can see the Nasdaq actually gapped down through here, and then had a rally down. And at one point, it was down about 2.5 or 2.3%, and then it rallied back up to about a 1.5% downward movement, but with the gap there as well. So that's what we can see there overall on the Nasdaq. And if we go back to the weekly chart, we can see how, looking at the weekly chart here, I'll take everything off the screen. Looking at the weekly chart, we can see how that the market has made this major lower trough. It's coming back up. It's trying to make this major low here. Looking on the weekly chart, guys, if we let's actually bring this up here. Looking on the weekly chart, this is on the Nasdaq, especially if we start breaking this high here, which is around the 4,900 mark. If we break that high, so we turn around and start breaking that high, then we're likely to start scooting right back up there. If we hold here and then we start to scoot back up, then we're likely to keep going. But if we keep moving to the downside, then down these lows are probably likely to be tested very, very soon. So that's what I do see there, guys. Gold had a bit of a pullback as well too. Gold is actually showing strength here. I'm seeing. You can see had this hot low here, and gold is in a bit of an indecision. You had this, if you look at the peaks and troughs, you can see here you had this peak here, a lower peak, and now you've had another lower peak. And so now you have this trough here, you have a higher trough, and now you've had this lower trough as well too. So it's making lower peaks, lower troughs right now. So it's in a very indecisive area because of what's happening here. Slightly lower trough, but if this lower peak here was like a 50% retracement lower peak, I'd say a lot more downside to come. But where it's at right now, we could actually have a good chance of it bouncing up rallying, and if we do break these highs up here, then we're likely to run back up towards these highs around the 112 mark, especially on GLD. So anyway, guys, that's what I do see overall. The VIX did start jumping up a little bit more, had a bit of a spike, and then it came back down. You can see it was actually up at one point about 30%, and then it came all the way back down to where it is right now. It's up about 10%. So the VIX is definitely spiking through there. And also oil to me is looking very bullish. Actually, we can see how it's actually continuing to hold up these areas through here. You can see it bounced up, it came down. You can see this day here it held up, this day here it held up. So it's actually looking very bullish. It looks like it wants to continue more upside, looking at oil there. So anyway, guys, that's it for me. Remember, success can be yours if you go claim it. So step up, take massive action, and face your fears today.